Hello everyone, I am Dr. Jharmil, Assistant Professor in Department of Physiology, Anugrah Narayan Magad Medical College, Gaya. Today we will discuss next part of female reproductive system. In my previous discussion, we are going through the functional anatomy of the organs of the female reproductive system. Today I will discuss in detail about functions of ovaries, that is oogenesis and its endocrine functions. As we know, in female reproductive organs with its active function starts during intrauterine life. After birth and after puberty, there is a resting phase. When puberty starts, then there is onset of menstruation, that is menarche, and female enter into her active reproductive life, which ends at menopause. Next is functions of ovaries. First function is oogenesis. What is oogenesis? Oogenesis refers to the process of formation of ova from the primitive germ cells. When the bipotential gonads differentiate into ovaries in genetic female, embryo by 10th week of gestation, the primitive germ cells increase in number by mitosis to form oogonia. These oogonia are the stem cells from which ova are derived. The oogonia proliferate by mitosis to form primary oocyte. Female babies are born with all the egg cells they are ever going to have. No new egg cells are made during lifetime. During fetal development, a female has around 7 million primordial follicles. The number of these eggs is steadily reduced so that when a baby girl is born, she has between 1 to 2 million eggs. The menstrual cycle is on hold until a girl reaches puberty. When a girl reaches puberty, she has between 3 lakhs to 4 lakhs eggs. Before puberty, about 11,000 eggs die each month, whereas after puberty, the number of eggs die is about 1,000 every month. During reproductive years, 400 to 500 ova matures and release. When there is very less follicles, ovaries will cease to make estrogen and menopause starts. Next is steps in oogenesis. Before birth, the primordial germ cell or oogonium undergoes mitosis to produce two oogonia. Each oogonia also undergoes mitosis to produce two diploid primary oocytes. Each primary oocyte starts to undergo meiosis I, replicating their DNA, but they are arrested at the meiosis I prophase stage. Then after puberty, the meiotic block is removed by the onset of puberty and the first luteinizing hormone surge. The primary oocyte completes its first meiotic division, producing a secondary oocyte and the first polar body. The secondary oocyte enters meiosis II and is arrested at metaphase II. The oocyte enlarges due to an increase in cytoplasmic volume. The ovulation occurs at this stage once the first meiotic division has been completed and secondary oocyte formed within the dominant follicle. The secondary oocyte completes meiosis II, producing the mature gamete, the ova, which is haploid. This stage only occurs once fertilization of the secondary oocyte by the sperm has occurred. There are three phases to oogenesis: multiplication phase or proliferative phase, growth phase, and maturation phase. Let us try to understand these phases in a precise manner. Multiplication phase. During fetal development, it should be noticed that certain cells present in the germinal epithelium of the female ovary are bigger than others. Hence, these cells split by mitosis, creating a couple of million oogonia or mother egg cells in each ovary present in the fetus. There are no more oogonia which are formed or augmented after birth. Next phase is growth phase. During growth phase, primary oocyte increases in size. Nutrients and other materials synthesized, then these substances accumulate in the cytoplasm. Period of growth phase in human is around 12 or 13 years. This growth phase is divided into two stages. First is pre-vitellogenesis stage, in which cytoplasmic and nuclear materials grow, but there is no yolk synthesis. Second is vitellogenesis, when there is synthesis of yolk. Last phase is maturation phase. The diploid primary oocyte reduced into haploid and form ovum. After completion of meiosis 1 produces a secondary oocyte and a polar body. The second meiosis division or secondary oocyte occur with unequal distribution of cytoplasm, producing large egg and a small second polar body. Eventually, one egg and 3 polar bodies are produced. What is folliculogenesis? The different stages of maturation of primordial follicles into graphene follicle is folliculogenesis. Phases of folliculogenesis. The developmental sequence of a follicle goes through various follicle stages: primordial follicle, primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, graphene or antral follicles. Since the follicle can die at any moment in its development, called atresia, not all reach the tertiary follicle stage. Primordial follicles. Primordial follicles are the fundamental reproductive units of ovary. These primordial follicles are formed in fetal life. Each primordial follicle consists of the primary oocyte in prophase of the first meiotic division, surrounded by a single layer of spindle-shaped flat cells called granulosa cells. Both the granulosa cell and the primary oocyte are enveloped in a thin membrane called basal lamina. These granulosa cells provide nutrition to the ovum and secrete oocyte maturation inhibiting factor, which keeps the ovum in immature stage till puberty. The primary follicle is formed when the primordial follicle undergoes following developmental changes. Granulosa cells, which are flat, spindle-shaped in primordial follicle, becomes columnar and undergoes mitotic division to form a multi-layered stratum granulosum. Oocyte enlarges and becomes about 20 micrometer in size. Zona pellucida, a homogeneous membrane, appears consisting of glycoprotein between the granulosa cells and the oocyte. With the appearance of zona pellucida, the follicle is now referred to as a multilaminar primary follicle. Secondary follicle is formed from the primary follicle. When granulosa cell undergoes further proliferation, oocyte further increases in size up to 100 micrometer. Its nucleus becomes larger and vesicular, forming germinal spots. Thicker folliculi or follicular sheath is formed outside the basal lamina from the spindle-shaped cells from the stroma of cortex and ovary. The theca folliculi consist of an inner rim of secretory cells called theca interna and an outer rim of thickly packed fibers and spindle-shaped cells called theca externa. After proliferation, the granulosa cells start secreting follicular fluid. This causes cavity to be formed in the stratum granulosum, which is called antrum or follicular cavity. The fluid filled in the antrum is called liquor folliculi, which also contains estrogen. The granulosa cells continue to proliferate and the size of follicle is increased. One of the tertiary follicle increases in size in response to gonadotropins, both FSH and LH, and forms the mature follicle called Graafian or antral follicle. A fully matured Graafian follicle is characterized by following features. Size of follicle increases markedly to about 2 to 5 mm. This growth of the Graafian follicle is accomplished by granulosa and theca proliferation. Antrum becomes larger, theca interna becomes more prominent, and formation of secondary oocyte. Just prior to ovulation, the primary oocyte of the fully matured Graafian follicle completes the first meiotic division and forms the secondary oocyte with a haploid nucleus and the first polar body. Next function of ovary is endocrine function. The endocrine function of the ovaries is to produce female sex hormones which include estrogen and progesterone. Let's discuss about estrogen hormone briefly. Estrogens are C18 steroids. The naturally occurring estrogens include 17-beta estradiol. It is the principal and physiologically most potent estrogen. It is secreted by ovary. Estrone, it is a weak ovarian estrogen formed by oxidation of estradiol in liver. Estriol, it is the degradation product of estradiol and estrone. It is the weakest of all naturally occurring estrogens. Synthetic estrogens include ethinyl estradiol, mestranol, and tibolone. Sources of estrogen. In the normal female, estrogens are mainly secreted by theca interna cells of Graafian follicles. A small quantity is also produced by granulosa cells, placenta, adrenal cortex, and testes. How this estrogen is transported in blood? Estrogen is transported in blood bound mainly with plasma albumin and specific estrogen binding proteins. Then what is the fate of estrogens? Large quantities of both estradiol and estrone are hydroxylated in liver to form estriol and then are conjugated with glucuronic acid and sulfates in liver. About 1/5 of conjugated products are excreted in bile and remaining in urine. Next is mechanism of action of estrogen. Estradiol interacts with the target cell receptors within the cytoplasm of these cells. When estradiol is bound to its receptor ligand, the receptor can enter the nucleus of the target cells and induce the formation of messenger RNA and protein synthesis. Next is functions of estrogen. The functions of estrogens for descriptive purpose can be grouped as reproductive actions and other actions. Reproductive actions at puberty. At puberty, estradiol is secreted in larger amounts, which causes following changes: growth of uterus, fallopian tube, and vagina. Its effect on ovaries is completion of ovarian cycle. On uterus, it promotes mitotic activity in uterine muscles and endometrium. Cervical mucus secretion becomes scoop-based and watery. In fallopian tube, it promotes secretory activity of cell lining and promotes motility of the muscle coat and cilia. In vagina, estrogen promotes mitotic activity of the epithelium, increases vaginal secretions and acidity, and also helps to protect vagina against microbes. It produces proliferation of endometrium, growth of breast, proliferation of ducts and stroma, and accumulation of the fat. Acne is also seen due to a small amount of androgens produced simultaneously. Next, estrogen promotes growth of external genitalia, appearance of secondary sexual characters in females. It also influences gonadotropin secretion. Moderate and constant level produces negative feedback effect, whereas elevated estrogen level produces positive feedback effect and stimulates LH secretion. The other functions of estrogens include the effects on following. Metabolic effects. Anabolic but weaker than testosterone. On protein metabolism, estrogen causes positive nitrogen balance due to growth promoting effect. On fat metabolism, estrogens cause fat deposition in subcutaneous tissues in the breast and the thighs. Effects on bone. Continued action of estrogen promotes fusion of epiphyses, retarding bone resorption. Osteoclast pit formation is inhibited. Increased expression of bone matrix proteins such as osteonectin, osteocalcin, and collagen. Loss of estrogen actions after menopause shifts the bone balance towards bone resorption and thus causing osteoporosis. Effect on blood pressure. Estrogen produces mild salt and water retention, edema, and blood pressure may rise. Effects on blood. Blood coagulability is increased, induce the synthesis of clotting factors, that is factor 2, 7, 9, and 10. Estrogen's effect on lipid profile. Estrogen produces decreased plasma LDL cholesterol, increase HDL and triglyceride levels. Atherosclerosis in premenopausal is rare. Effects on glucose. It impairs glucose tolerance. Diabetes may precipitate. Effects on bile. It increases lithogenicity of bile by increasing cholesterol secretion and reducing bile salt secretion. The estrogenic preparations are used in following conditions: to reduce menopausal symptoms like hot flushes, to prevent postmenopausal osteoporosis, to prevent progression to atherosclerosis and incidence of heart attacks and strokes, and in oral contraceptive pills. Next ovarian hormone is progesterone. Progesterone is C21 steroid meant for maintenance of pregnancy and biologically called prostagen or gestagen. Progestins may be natural and synthetic. Natural progestin is progesterone. Synthetic progestins are progesterone derivatives. Older one is medroxyprogesterone acetate and newer is normegestrol acetate. 19 non-testosterone derivatives are levonorgestrel and desogestrel. Site of progesterone synthesis. In a normal adult non-pregnant woman, progesterone is mainly secreted by corpus luteum and during pregnancy by the placenta. A small amount is also secreted by the adrenal cortex and by testes in case of males. Next is transport of progesterone. In the plasma, progesterone is present in two forms. Bound form, about 98% of progesterone in the blood is present in bound form with plasma proteins with albumin and with corticoid binding proteins also known as transcortin. Unbound form or free form is only 2%. Metabolism of progesterone. In the liver, progesterone is metabolized to form pregnanediol and 17-alpha hydroxyprogesterone to pregnanediol. The metabolites then conjugated with glucuronic acid and sulfuric acid to form water-soluble substances which are excreted by the kidney into the urine and a small amount into the bile. Next is actions of progesterone. Progesterone produces secretory changes that prepare the endometrium for implantation of fertilized ovum. Cervical secretion becomes thick, cellular and tenacious. On breast, it promotes growth of lobules and alveolar tissue, decreases excitability of myometrial cells, increase basal body temperature. Temperature increases by 0.5 degrees centigrade during ovulation. It inhibits ovulation by inhibiting release of gonadotropin releasing hormone from the hypothalamus. Uses of progesterone. Progesterones are used in contraceptive pills. It is also used in women who have repeated abortions by promoting placental formation and reducing uterine contractions. So here is the main effects of estrogen and progesterone in a woman. Main effects of estrogens are it builds up uterine lining, increases body fat, depression, headache or migraine, interferes with thyroid hormone, increases blood clotting, decreases libido, impairs blood sugar control, increases risk of endometrial cancer and breast cancer. Whereas progesterone effects maintains uterine lining, helps use fat for energy, as antidepressants, facilitates thyroid hormone action, normalizes blood clotting, restores libido, it regulates blood sugar level, protects from endometrial cancer and probably prevent breast cancer. Besides female sex steroids, estrogen and progesterone, ovaries also secrete peptide hormones as inhibin. Structurally, it is polypeptide. It inhibits the FSH release. Activin, structurally it is also a polypeptide. Its action is to activate FSH secretion from the anterior pituitary. Ovarian androgens, a small amount of testosterone is also secreted by the ovaries during biosynthesis of estrogen and progesterone, but the main source of androgens in female is adrenal cortex. These androgens are responsible for acne vulgaris, libido and pubic hairs. And last is relaxin. Relaxin is a polypeptide hormone produced by corpus luteum during pregnancy in tissues and blood, uterus, placenta, mammary glands and prostate glands in men. Its main role is during pregnancy as it relaxes pubic symphysis and pelvic joints, softens and dilates the uterine cervix and facilitates delivery. In non-pregnant state, it releases from the corpus luteum and endometrium during secretory phase and its function is not known. In males, relaxin is present in the semen and helps in sperm motility. Let's discuss about removal of ovaries, that is oophorectomy. If removal of ovaries is done before puberty, the features which appears are puberty doesn't set in, menstrual flow does not occur, and secondary sexual characters do not occur. If removal of ovaries is done in adult stage, then it produces atrophy of the whole genital tract, menstruation ceases permanently, Vasomotor changes are common, like flushing of skin of face, neck and upper chest, and feeling of suffocation and night sweats. Effect of oophorectomy in adult on breast is variable. They may increase in size or they may shrink. There is diffuse deposition of fat. Effects on sexual desire mostly unaffected, and emotional disturbances. There is certain amount of irritability or depression to insanity. This is the end of today's lecture. In this, we completed oogenesis and endocrine functions of ovaries. In my next lecture, I will discuss about female reproductive cycle. Thank you.